Hi, I'm Novel Mike, and this is my opinion. So, bunch of news about Nintendo dropped overnight. A lot of things go over, so bear with me, and I'll try to make this as quick as possible with also my discussion as well about said things. First thing is that NX has been confirmed to be launching March of next year worldwide, which we did think it was going to be this holiday season, and moving it out of the holiday season seems to be a surprise for a lot of people. They also had large space set up for E3, which seemed to have indicated that they had something big to show, like a new console and a lot of games. So the fact that it's not going to be there is pretty surprising, and it may be something that they decided fairly recently, maybe in the last month or so. So this may not be a good thing because most consoles typically launch around holiday season for a reason, because that's when you're going to get the most attention. And the fact that NX is not going to be at E3 this year is generally just not a good sign for Nintendo, because it's the biggest trade show in the entire world when it comes to video games. To miss that is missing a huge demographic of your audience to really get to see and experience it. But this is Nintendo, and they do some wacky things at times, so this could be meaning that they have some other plans available. It's still just not a good idea to miss E3. The bigger news, at least if you care about Zelda, is that Zelda has been delayed out of this year and won't be coming out until next year. Most likely as a NX launch title, and probably come out around the same time for Wii U. Um, and it's confirmed that it is coming out for NX, which we kind of already knew, but now it's officially confirmed by Nintendo. That sucks. No matter what you think about how Nintendo's doing with NX or otherwise, that was going to be their big title for this year for Wii U, and that could help the system sell some last minute consoles. And now it's not there, and they don't really have anything to replace it as far as we know so far. And there's no Mario Maker. There's, not much they could put there. Paper Mario maybe, but still, that's not anywhere near the kind of thing you want to have for your holidays as your marquee title. They also said that Zelda is going to have a big debut at E3. Oddly enough, it's going to be the only game playable on their showroom floor at E3. They're not going to have Pokemon or some of these other 3DS games or anything else from Wii U like Paper Mario, which is a very odd choice to make. I get that they want to blow out Zelda, and that might be trying to hype people up for NX in a different way, even though the system's not going to be there. But you can't ignore all your old titles just for one game. But maybe that Zelda is that good. Hopefully, it needs to be. um, I don't think that they're making a lot of smart choices here, but part of this as well that was announced is that they're going through somewhat of a corporate restructuring. Essentially, they're adding a audit and supervisor committee, which is going to have an executive officer system. Layman's terms, what that means is they're going to have a regulatory board that makes decisions, which gives the board of directors more power, and possibly get some of their board of directors that focus on games. I'm saying Miyamoto as someone that's prominent in that, but I don't know that. I can't say he is a part of that at all. I'm just saying that's an example of someone that might be getting more time to get it focused on games rather than running the business. This could be both a good and a bad thing. We'll have to see. It definitely sounds like, from what I've read, that they're giving some of their executives, such as Reggie, more power in this executive officer system. So they might be able to present things from a more worldwide perspective instead of just focusing entirely on Japan for some of their business decisions. But either way, with that restructure, that kind of makes sense why NX is being delayed, because when you're going through a restructure, especially after Iwata died last year, it does make sense that they're kind of scrambling to keep up with everything. They probably did want NX to come out this year, but it's just not something that they can do with all the other crazy stuff that they're trying to do with it, and trying to run the company still when that void has technically been filled by another president, but it's someone who's new in the position, so not exactly the easiest thing to do when you're trying to launch a new console. So I do think all this news makes sense. It's unfortunate, but there isn't all bad news from this. For one thing, Fire Emblem sold really well. It's closing in on 4 million copies sold, and it hasn't even launched in Europe yet, which is really good for that series, considering before Awakening it was pretty much dead. at least according to Nintendo. And they also said that they're going to have two more mobile projects coming out later this year, actual games. So I have something like Miitomo, which is kind of just an interfacing app. Um, those being Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem. Animal Crossing makes perfect sense. They did hint that it would have. Sorry, they did hint that it would have some sort of connectivity with a console game. I don't know if that means the Animal Party Paradise minigame thing that they had last year with Amiibos, or if they're talking about some new Animal Crossing game for Wii U. That would make sense if they're working on something like that, since we haven't had a proper Animal Crossing game on Wii U. The news I'm more happy about though is Fire Emblem, because having a tactical RPG on a touch device just makes perfect sense. I'm shocked that we haven't seen something like that, already being talked about. But I'm happy about that. Don't know what kind of games they're really going to be yet. They'll talk about them more later, but they are slated for fall. Um, Really surprising news. I didn't expect a lot of this to happen as it is. And I think the most maddening part about a lot of this is pretty much, we can know what they're telling us, but you just want to know what's going on internally to make some of these decisions happen, especially the whole thing about NX not being at E3 and only having Zelda on the show floor. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll do a demo online, or no, they'll probably do Best Buy events again for Zelda, won't they? Oh god, that's going to be maddening. So anyway, we'll see what happens with E3. They may still have some surprise announcements. Here's hoping that they have something good for holidays for the Wii U at least, but doesn't seem likely. Anyway, I'm Novel Mike. That was my opinion. Here's hoping that next time I talk about Nintendo, we have a little bit more positivity. Thanks, everyone.